Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword 3, The Sleeping Dragon. So we're under the streets or sewers of Montefuco, is that how you pronounce it? And the dragon cult, who were the main branch of the Neo-Templars, have infiltrated this secret facility of the St. Stephen's chapter of the Neo-Templars, although I guess technically they're not the St. Stephen's chapter of the Neo-Templars as much as they are just the St. Stephen's chapter of the Templars, and they've just been around for that long, although different people, generationally. Nobody's living forever as far as we know. We see this blood, and we don't have anything to really do with it, so we're going to just see where the body got dragged. I think, sadly though, what's going to turn out to happen is we're just going to have to creep around this facility, which could be any place really. It's just a big square hallway, which we've seen a whole bunch of big square hallways up to this point, and I don't think we're going to have a lot of point and click adventure in going on here.
Cesaro and his men must have come through that way. They must have blocked it off behind them so no one else could get out that way. I wasn't going to get through there in a hurry. The bars were several inches thick.
And yet they're kind of bent, and the ground here has a black line that looked like a bar just sitting on the fence, but no, it's the ground. So just a blocked off path, and we're just walking towards danger. We know we have to go this way though, because there's really no other way we can go. The other way is also blocked off by guards and a dog, and they're specifically looking for me, as if there's a reason why I should have even made it this far. Seeing there's a guy over there, and you have like lockers, and you have showers. So the game has made special effort to animate a open air urinals above this area, and now they made special effort to animate a showers.
I'd arrived too late. Cesaro and
Doesn't even look
shown
human.
No mercy for these poor souls. How could anyone do this?
Does not even look human. It's so bent
Cesaro's
up.
men had shown no mercy.
And when you look at something like this, I expect the game to zoom in and try to give us some more details. What's down here?
A fire had been burning. It was still smoldering.
This is supposed to be
in the last few hours.
This is supposed to be a smoldering fire. This looks so much like PlayStation 1 graphics. In fact,
I just wanted to leave him in peace.
while the graphics don't even look good here for this time, it would have made sense. But what's really weird is there are people that try to make games that look like this and sell them brand new on Steam, and I'm like, oh no, that's never gonna sell.
An unfinished chess game. There were only two pieces left. A bishop and a king. It was a no-win situation.
A bishop and a king? Well, I guess that is a no-win situation. That would lead to a stalemate, almost certainly.
It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten.
So, we didn't find anything on any of them. Interesting.
The sink was full of dirty, used mugs. The attack had obviously been sudden and unexpected. It was a very expensive coffee machine. Cesaro's men had smashed it up pretty good. I guess they didn't like coffee.
So, the Templars are drinking coffee? This guy has something on him, I guess.
It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten. Cesaro's men had shown no mercy. I didn't want to, but I had to search the body.
You had to search this body, but none of the other bodies.
The only thing on him was an old rusty key.
Okay, we have an old rusty key. And then we have this microwave.
The microwave's oven control panel was smashed, but the 10-second button was still intact. Only useful if you needed to cook something for less than a minute, of course.
Why? Why can't you just hit the 10-second button over and over again? Put the aluminum foil on it.
That wasn't the right approach.
Combine the aluminum foil with the piece of coal. Put the piece of coal in it.
That wasn't the right approach.
Put the silver coin in it.
Now, that wasn't quite right.
I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. And I have the stone cylinders still.
There wasn't a reason to try that.
So multiple things in this room, and none of it has anything to do with anything.
This was one serious door. It looked strong enough to hold a wild bull.
So if they close the door? I don't understand why you would give us the special option to close the door. So much of this game feels like just experimental programming demos, like proof of concept things, instead of actually being towards the goal of an actual game. It's proof that you can make certain mechanics.
Men was guarding the kitchen. I couldn't get through while he was there. I was gonna have to find a way to distract him.
Alright. So we have to find a way to distract him. I think we can probably do that easily if we just maybe turn on the microwave.
The microwave suddenly sprang into life. It was going to make a noise. I had to hide. Fast.
Over here. And so we're just gonna lock him in the room. And hopefully we can use the key on the door quickly to lock him in. So. Alright, quickly now, key.
Mission accomplished. The guy was now trapped in the room.
And it fades out to what, Nicole? No, it just fades out to saving. And then the next step, of course, would be to get away from the door in case he decides to start shooting the door, which would be the right move for a security guard.
The guard had sat down to a hearty meal. Beans, egg, some chicken. How could anyone sit down to eat a meal surrounded by this carnage?
So, what are we gonna find here? It's a kitchen. There's a couple things to look at.
Some cast iron pots with broth simmering in them. Sweet smells wafted over.
And as I think about it, if they were just trying to make a world where everything was interactable, I think I'd much prefer that they gave us just like a single house. Something very small. Not as big as the mansion. Nowhere as big as the mansion. But just a house with a bunch of items that you can look at. So say there was 20 or 50 things in the room, in every single room to look at. And as you progress through the story, you thought to yourself, oh yeah, I saw that knife in the kitchen, let me go get the knife. Or I saw the carrots in the pantry, let me go get the carrots. But until then, you can't pick things up. Or maybe you can pick things up, but you'd have 20 things in your inventory, and then you'd just be confused about what thing works with what, which is what we've run into on several occasions in this game.
On the shelves were a mixture of canned foods and game. pheasant and beans, a Stobbart family favorite.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. But okay, considering where he's from, it doesn't make the most amount of sense. Am I going to unlock something by looking at that map? I bet I am. See, we've got this doorway and nothing else, so I'll look at the map.
It looked like an old map of Europe. Had to be 500 years old.
You would think they would want to keep these things in better condition than just still hanging on the walls. More people bleeding on the ground. And the hallways look slightly different now because before they were very brick and industrial. Now we've got more just kind of carved out walls with wood framing. And I imagine we're going to run into one Templar here that's not actually dead.
Barrels full of hops and beer. It looks like the Templars even brewed their own beer.
So many locations we've been ended up not having much of anything. Remember the book repository? Like, this looks exactly like this could have been part of the book repository, and there's just nothing here.
Game. Hung, ready for skinning and cooking. The Templars lived well. Rabbit, pheasant.
This almost gives me the impression, and I don't know if I was supposed to pick up on this earlier, that they don't let most of the Templars leave this area, that they're still hiding. Because
That was strange. The blood trail led to the wine rack, but then completely disappeared. No pool of blood, no body, no nothing.
Yeah, I think I remember this puzzle actually as being particularly frustrating. So we have 4 things really close together, and if we didn't have the ability to switch between what we're looking at, and look, his face moves as he's looking at things, you wouldn't ever be able to select the items. Of course, if this was a traditional point-and-click adventure game using a mouse and possibly a keyboard, you would be really easy to click on these things. And I think probably I would prefer to have played this game with a keyboard. It really doesn't matter too much to me. I don't care if we used the controller or not. I just feel like what happened is by adding a controller input, they changed the type of game they wanted to play. There's a lot more running around and a little bit of creeping around and a lot more jumping around and holding on ledges and stuff like that. A lot more action just seems to be desired when you have a controller-based game, where in a point-and-click adventure game almost none of that happens. And there's a lot of the standard point-and-click adventure styles of gameplay that are missing from this game in exchange for the box puzzle pushing and the running and jumping. So I need to look at each of these, and I think they have a year on them. And I think he's going to start expositing some things, telling us how the Templars relate to the different years, I think.
It was a bottle of Italian wine. Modena Lambrusco.
Okay. Italian wine.
It was a bottle of French wine. Chateau Barentois.
French wine.
It was a bottle of Israeli wine. Carmel Sauvignon Blanc.
Carvel.
It was a bottle of German wine. Wiesbaden.
Do Israeli people make wine? I guess they do somewhere. I mean, I'm almost kind of disbelieving it. Do Germans make wine? I don't know.
It was a bottle of French champagne. Montagne de Reims.
Okay. So, the trick there is that we heard a while ago the journey of St. Stephen's, who they named their trip on. And this probably was here to help with this.
It looked like an old map of Europe.
But it's not. So the game is kind of expecting us to remember a story that we heard told to us by Andre about an hour ago in gameplay. Let's see. If we go over to the notepad and look at this, and then just move all the way to the end. So, and work our way back. Czar's men have been told to wait for me and kill me. The stone artifact turned out to be a key inserted in the skull and the mouth. Someone was familiar. Flobaj, the workman, not. The Knight Stefan transported the relic from Israel, traveling through Italy, Germany, and the Rhimes region before delivering it to the Benetoire Preceptory. So, the order should be Israel, Italy, Germany, Rhimes, and then whatever's left is that. And clearly they put the answer there so you can remember.
Carmel Sauvignon Blanc.
But if you didn't know this, you're going to get very confused. Then look at the next one.
It was a bottle of German wine.
No.
Wiesbaden.
That's not right.
It was a bottle of French champagne. Montagne de Reims.
Let's see.
It was a bottle of French wine. Chateau Barentois.
So I don't think we're going to even do the blue one. So we'll do this one.
It was a bottle of Italian wine. Modena Lambrusco.
And then this one that's German.
It was a bottle of German wine. Wiesbaden.
And see, you can see how this is supposed to be a combination lock that you really wouldn't be able to brute force. I'm pretty sure after a number of failures, though, it just answers it for you. I don't think the game is that cruel. And then this should be the last one, I guess.
It was a bottle of French wine. Chateau Barentois. Hey, presto! To my delight, the wine rack moved to reveal a secret passage. The blood trail continued.
Now, of course, that's a terrible code for your secret passage. It's something you would do in like an Indiana Jones booby trap temple so that people who knew your history could figure it out. But it's not very helpful if you're trying to keep everybody except for people who actually know the secret out.
Stobbart. We knew you would come.
Hey, you're the guy who mugged me outside the theater.
We had to have the key of Solomon. Now listen to me. Susaro is more powerful than we thought. There isn't much time. You must find the others. Protect the key.
Where is it?
Look for the statue. It hides the...
Hides what? I wasn't going to get any more from the guy.
And Stobbart here, George Stobbart, could have done some much better reaction there as far as being animated. He should have gotten down on the level of the guy and tried to reassure him, say he's fine, look on him as level. It just is bad screenwriting to have him stand up there looking down on the Templars. And the other thing that I just realized is that not only are they giving George these magical powers, they're gonna say he's a Templar. I've just realized this. It's almost certain. I can't believe I hadn't thought of it further. But yeah, they're gonna say that George is from a long line of Templars and it runs in his blood, and that it's his duty to protect
It was the body of the guy who
the
took the key
Templars.
from outside the theater. He tried to tell me something about a statue.
That's really all you need to know. The statue hides the... See, and they
I couldn't
did
find any clues.
animate him.
Whatever he was trying to protect, it was clearly worth laying his life down for.
They did animate him crouching down then, so why couldn't they have animated him crouching down when the guy was talking? It probably looks real bad, but like right here, right there, that's all you could have done. Put your arms down a little bit and you would have been fine. It's a little weird how the crouching animation works, because when you start moving, it lifts up a lot higher. So apparently there was just a handle on that secret panel, and we're in a different area again. What's this say?
The broken clock had stopped at 3:42. Cesaro's men must have been here for at least an hour. They must have been desperate. Hardly anything had been left untouched.
Except for all those towels hanging.
The clock was smashed so badly it was beyond repair. They'd looked everywhere for the key. I hope they found it.
No, you don't. Because if they found the key, they're probably going to blow up the world. Or... I don't even know what Cesaro was trying to do, really. They haven't been clear about that at all. And so there's this clock, and we can interact with it.
The clock was smashed so badly it was beyond repair.
Is there...
I thought about it, but decided not to do it.
Is there some small thing?
No way was I doing that.
Like, because some clocks have keys and such, but I guess not. And if they searched so well, why didn't they find the secret passage? I guess they didn't search that well. Another room where you don't really do anything. And here we're shown what seems to be another sneak mission. There's a dog standing on the panel. Seems like there's a set of what's this?
It was a large illuminated Bible. Each handwritten page must have taken days.
So we're getting the animation.
Grandpa Stobbart could see me now, he'd sure be proud. Closest I've been to a Bible in years. Guess I just preferred thrillers. I like this version, though. Had some pretty pictures in it.
So I guess we're waiting for this guy to decide to look the other way so that I can walk this way behind this. And I assume he's not gonna come back here and look at me. So much work for so little. That's all I can think. Is that they really must have done very, very little. Well, they did. That's what we see in this final product, is a game that has these giant sections, and all I'm doing is slowly walking, not even really creeping around. And maybe we'll have to do that again. Just because the game is going to insist on it. But that's kind of it. Let's look at this.
It was a medieval tapestry depicting a knight on his horse. It reminded me of a manuscript I once found.
Yeah. But wasn't it two knights riding on the same horse was the symbol of the Templars? In the first game? Yeah, I think so. See, and it feels like they're trying to do a reboot here and make the Templars actually the good guys. So that there could be, like, I don't even know why. Why not just have them as the main bad guys for most of the series?
A finely carved statue of a knight of the Templar Order. Not very flattering. I couldn't see any levers or buttons.
So...
It was a large statue of a man. Maybe this was the statue the Templar had been trying to tell me about. Below the statue, on the plinth, was a brass plaque.
And what's interesting is the statues look better than the characters. Just because they're rigid and they didn't have to be programmed to move around. It seems like the software to make 3D animations at this time was just not ready for prime time. Because those statues look great in comparison to the way George looks.
The plaque indicated that the statue was of Saint Stephen. Below his name was a quote. "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." Revelation. Now, when I was a boy, Grandpa Stobbart, or to give him his full title, the Very Reverend Archie Stobbart, had insisted I went to Bible class. So Revelation was no revelation to me.
So we've got to go back and look at the Bible and find out that
Statue of a
Bible
Templar
verse.
knight. The statue was old. Very old. The statue was carved from solid rock. I couldn't see any switches or levers.
And see, even if I knew
Statue was made
the
of
entire
solid
book
stone.
of
I
Revelations
couldn't see any moving parts.
backwards and forwards and had it memorized personally, that I don't think the game would let me set the
Clock
time
was large, beautiful,
on this
and
clock.
useless. It didn't work. The key to adjust the time had been left in the clock face. The key to adjust the time had been left in the clock face.
So we could try the smashed clock number. Sure, why not?
I set the clock to 3:42, the time I'd seen on the smashed clock. Nothing happened.
And so there's a little bit of a red herring. That's not too bad. And then we could set the St. Stephen number. Is it 1247? Apparently he knew it backwards and
I entered
forwards.
the time that corresponded to the date this place was dedicated to St. Stephen. It was around 1247. That didn't work.
So there was a couple of numbers. I hadn't even thought of that one. Alright. Let's go ahead and make a save file. And this is as good of a place as any to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.